Hello, nerds! Thank you for joining me here on Nerd News Clips. This is the second channel. This is the place for all of the short-form content as well as the individual sections and just generally speaking smaller things. If you are into the longer form content, youtube.com/generallynerdy is the place to go see that. With that out of the way, let's get into this. Gaming and tech is gonna be huge. It's a big episode, but none of the syndicated sections are that big. So consider yourself lucky that you found the main episode, or you're watching the clips on the clip channel. Either way, yeah, gaming and tech. Let's get into this. We have some follow-ups. The first follow-up is one that I feel really stupid that I even need to follow up on, because it has to do with GoldenEye 007. That we talked about previously, because it was at the Nintendo Direct. They talked about GoldenEye 007. The part that I missed because in my excitement was that it was also going to be released on Xbox One or Xbox Series or the Xbox just in general. Yeah, so I believe all of the above. It's going to be on Game Pass. It's going to be on XB One and XB Series, and it's a very strange situation going on. So the Switch version is going to be on the their Switch store, the downloadable stuff that automatically has integrated multiplayer over the internet. And for some reason, the Xbox version is not going to have multiplayer over internet. You will be able to do couch co-op just like you were able to back in the Nintendo 64 days. It is going to have an upgraded control scheme, which, good God, thank you. I recently replayed GoldenEye 007 on a Nintendo 64, and those tank controls are so broken. But updated control scheme that will fully utilize both joysticks. So yeah, that is going to be a welcome change. But like I said, you will not be able to play multiplayer over internet. So if you have a broadband connection, that's irrelevant because you can only do couch co-op, even for versus. So this sounds like this is based on some sort of legal issue dealing with the emulation of the game, and you know, the Rare and Nintendo and Microsoft all not really seeing 100% eye to eye. And then you throw in the people who own the rights to James Bond, and everything just kind of goes even more sideways. So hopefully, once we see how popular the game is upon launch, then whoever is holding up this multiplayer situation will go, oh hey, maybe we can make even more money by doing this. And then they'll update the software accordingly. But as it stands now, that is what we've got. So let's move into our next follow-up. Suikoden is actually getting a remaster. Suikoden 1 and 2 both are coming to the Nintendo Switch. Konami did a thing finally that wasn't, you know, a pachinko machine, and the crowd rejoiced. Still no word as to whether or not we're going to see any sort of Metal Gear Solid remaster. Maybe that would be awesome. But as it stands right now, this is a step in the right direction. Never was a big Suikoden fan myself, but there are millions of you out there. It sounds like there is going to be definitely a physical version of this released. It sounds like potentially exclusively in Japan, and then maybe there's going to be a digital download worldwide. As that develops, we will talk about it, but either way, it is happening. So let's move on. Our next piece has to do with Halo Forge. This one actually just happened, I believe, Monday morning. So yesterday as I'm filming this, and a couple of days ago as you're watching. So Forge is scripting, and this is very interesting. It seems that some of the glitchiness from Halo 5's Forge is making its way back into Halo Infinite's Forge on purpose this time. Specifically, the ability to reroute or change, I forget exactly what the name of the thing is, weapon combinations. That's what I wrote down. I don't think that's exactly what it's referred to as, but you can effectively, like in the video that's linked down the description, you can effectively make any gun shoot rockets for bullets instead of the regular ammo that it does. So it looks like there's going to be a lot more mapping options than even just that. And man, some of these Forge, we see a few more Forge maps in this video that are absolutely worth your time. definitely go check the video out down the link again down in the description, because this is shaping up to be the thing that Halo needs in order to save itself. One caveat to that, though, is that when Forge launches, they will not have a custom games browser, because Halo Forge is launching before Season 3, and they said at the earliest we will be getting a custom games browser with Season 3. So is it going to be enough to fully revitalize the Halo community? I really doubt it, but it's going to be enough to bring a lot of people back to Halo, I'm sure. So, as that stands, that's all we have there. Let's move on to our final piece, and this one has to do with Xbox, so we're staying with the Microsoft theme. So, just kind of the TLDR to bring you up to speed on this piece is, as it stands right now, there is... you have to effectively have some sort of internet connection to play most of your Xbox games, starting with Xbox One and definitely on the Xbox Series consoles. If you do not have an internet connection, then you are unable to play, even if you own the physical copy of the game. Well, it seems that Microsoft has listened to the fandom and has also pulled their head out of their rear end to realize that that is entirely unnecessary for a broad majority of games that released for the Xbox One and the Xbox Series consoles. So if you own the physical disc, odds are, it sounds like there are still going to be some exceptions to this rule, but odds are after the main update for September, you will be able to play your disc, the game on your disc, without needing an internet connection at all. So if you live in a place where I used to live and the internet is garbage and you can't really connect very well at all, yeah, it's not going to be much of a problem, unless you're trying to play anything on Game Pass, which I feel like should be obvious, or the Xbox 360, or the OG Xbox. If you're trying to play anything from those three Microsoft Xbox platforms, then you're kind of out of luck, because even if you have the physical disc for the 360 or the OG Xbox, that isn't where the game is loaded from on your newer Xbox console. So the way it works is that is effectively just a key, and then it downloads all of the information from the server to install it onto your Xbox. So the key is what you need to let it know that you own the thing. In order for it to verify that ownership, it has to run it against its database, which is on an internet connection. So it's pretty wonky, but that is what it is. Hopefully, I would imagine they are working towards this. Maybe not, though. Hopefully someday it will be the case for all physical media. If you have the key, it shouldn't need to verify it for you, but that kind of is what it is at this point. So that's what we have for follow-ups. We have no trailers, but we do have some news to get into. And the first one is kind of huge. And you also probably have heard about this one already. So hopefully I can shine a new light on the Grand Theft Auto 6 leaks for you. And again, normally we put leaks in the rumor section, but this one has been verified as being 100% true and by Rockstar themselves, and Take-Two has been going after basically every channel and Twitter page and what have you that is posting anything that they found from these leaks. They're going after them to do DMCA takedowns, so you won't be seeing any images or video from the leaks, but believe me when I say that they have been confirmed as being 100% true, which is why it is news. So it seems that some footage has been leaked by someone who obtained it through nefarious ways, though Rockstar was unable to clarify exactly how this person obtained all of this video. It is a fair amount of video, though none of it is playable. All of it is obviously early development footage, not intended for anyone to see. There's a bunch of technical readouts that come across the screen, which is kind of how a lot of people have figured out exactly how old these videos are, because some of those technical readouts display the video card that is being used on the terminal that they have, that they're using for the development of this game. And it should also be noted that, assuming that there was roughly 3 years ago or so, maybe even 4 at this point, assuming that that is the case, it should be very much noted that this looks quite amazing because it is still a visual leap forward from Grand Theft Auto 5, which we have a little bit more about 5 to talk about in a second, but it is graphically superior to what we know of GTA 5. And it's running on basically advanced PlayStation 4 hardware, because at the time when this video was taken, the PlayStation 5 hardware didn't really exist. So yeah, that's pretty huge. The other part of this leak has to do with source code from Grand Theft Auto 5. And most people are like, who cares? Grand Theft Auto 5 has been out for some time. Well, Grand Theft Auto Online runs off of a variation of that same source code. So the hacker, or whatever you want to call this person who has obtained said source code and videos, has said that they are holding this source code hostage and are trying to negotiate with Rockstar and Take-Two, Rockstar's parent company, for the release of the source code back to its owner, which does not seem to be a wise decision on this person's part, but who knows, because they're trying to get an audience with Rockstar, if you will. And if this does fully leak out onto the internet, the source code, then very well could be some crazy exploits on Grand Theft Auto 5. Gonna see Rockstar scramble pretty hard to fix it once that does happen, if it happens. So yeah, pretty interesting situation going on here. Again, Rockstar has acknowledged that this is 100% accurate and that they are doing their best to finish the development of the game in such a manner that it will be the best version of the game possible at launch. I don't know how many people actually believe that last part, but that is the official statement from Rockstar. So let's move right along. Our next one is another 100% confirmed leak. This time, Diablo 4. Again, more video footage of the game. It is releasing rather soon. So this time it seems like the leaked footage has come from Discord. I don't exactly know. Somebody who knows somebody who works at Blizzard was on a Discord conversation where one of the developers was streaming footage from the in-development game, and so somebody who hasn't signed a contract decided, hey, I've got OBS on my computer, let's fire that bad boy up, and now we're here. So that's kind of all we have as far as the Diablo 4 leak is concerned. Just pretty heavy with the leaks this last week. And then we're moving into a new game announcement. Iron Man has officially been announced. EA Motive is currently developing, finishing the development cycle anyway, on the Dead Space remake. And part of the team is already moved into early production for a new Iron Man game. This is going to be the first of many, well, I think this is technically the second, but the first on their new contract with Marvel for what they hope to be many future Marvel games. It seems that this is going to be, based off of the description of the game, this is going to be an Arkham Asylum style third-person shooter, or third-person action-adventure rather, game where you play as Iron Man instead of Batman, which seems strangely appropriate. So that's what we got on that one. Next is the biggest piece I think we have for gaming and tech this week, and it is YouTube. So this was actually started out as a rumor, so rumor confirmation to an extent, because the rumor was a little more forgiving here, but started as a rumor that YouTube was going to be changing up the way their partnership program worked. The rumor initially said that potentially they're going to be slicing in half the expectations as a means to lower the barrier of entry into the partnership program. But that does not seem to be the case exactly. So we have a number of things. First and foremost, we have a focus on YouTube Shorts. So for those creators out there who are focusing on Shorts, you can now officially be rolled into the partner program in order to monetize your channel, even if you just make Shorts. The way that works is as follows. So normal channels that focus primarily on traditional videos or long form videos, I guess they're being called these days, those channels have to have 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time over the course of the last 12 months. Well, if you are a shorts-based channel, you also have to have 1,000 subscribers, but the watch time part is a little bit different. You have to have 10 million views over the course of the last 90 days. So I feel like that number is a little high. I don't know. Maybe that's just me because it takes a lot for me to get a few thousand views on my shorts, but that's just me, I would imagine. But the other part of that too is shorts will get you a 45% cut of revenue, whereas ad revenue. Whereas if you do, again, traditional video style, the long form videos, you get 55% cut of the ad revenue. This is irrelevant if you use music in your shorts or not. That is just the way shorts will be monetized. Also to be rolled out soon-ish is going to be something that they're calling Super Thanks, which is effectively just a tipping program for YouTube Shorts. That's all we really know about the Super Thanks. So let's move into the second of 3 parts for this YouTube announcement. The next part comes to mainline YouTube partner program, the people who do the long form content like myself. Those creators are going to be receiving an announcement, quote unquote, soon. What that means, who knows? But I mean, so soon could be next week, could be next month. We don't really know. But so soon we are going to be getting updates on the partner program. What is being reported is that the updates are going to surround new lower requirements for features like super chats, stickers, channel memberships, etc., which they're kind of rolling all of those things into one thing called fan funding. So you're not going to be getting ad revenue, but you will be eligible to receive direct tips and such from your viewer base. So that's pretty cool as well. And then the third part of this is the YouTube creator music area of your creator studio. Creator music is going to allow users, on paper at least, it's going to allow users a way to use music in their videos without receiving the dreaded copyright strike. It's not the same as a DMCA strike. Copyright strikes don't usually get you anything negative aside from the fact that you cannot monetize a video. So if you pay to use the YouTube music creator, what is it called? I'm sorry, use YouTube creator music, then that covers a lot of music as far as what you can use in your videos. Now, the issue with this part I see is that usually the copyright stuff comes from the newer stuff. And the biggest reason why users complain, why YouTubers complain about copyright issues on the platform is because reaction videos are a thing. And usually reaction videos happen really quickly after the release of a song. So if you have to wait for the song you want to do a reaction to hit the YouTube music, creator music platform, whatever we're calling it, then it's not going to be relevant by the time you do your reaction, and just, I don't know, it just seems like it's a little too short. But we won't know that. It's supposed to be rolling out again soon. So could it be tomorrow, could be next week. We won't know until it happens. As these things continue to evolve, we will be keeping tabs on them. So be sure you come back to the channel for more updates on this situation if you are a creator and you care as such. That is what we have for regular ass news. Let's get into gaming and tech suggestions, and I'm repeating myself this week just because I finally got my hands on a copy and realized how amazing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge really, really is. So that is, once again, our recommendation, some suggestion, whatever, for the week. TMNT Shredder's Revenge, played it on stream last week. It was a super blast. I love this game so much. You should too. Best 25 bucks I've spent in a long time. Once again, this has been just a brief segment from the larger episode that has been posted over on the main channel, youtube.com/generallynerdy. Go over there for the long form content, or just subscribe here if you want it in bite-sized chunks. Thank you very much for joining me, nerds. We'll see you in the next one. Before we go though, always remember that if it's generally nerdy, it's probably here.